Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, December 10th. Well, winter has finally made an appearance here in the U.S., especially across the Central Plains and Upper Midwest. Arctic cold has plunged deep into the south central part of the country. Meanwhile, a snowstorm raged yesterday across the upper part of the Midwest from Minnesota across Wisconsin and to Michigan, where in some areas more than a foot of snow fell. And temperatures this morning are below zero up in the northern plains, and there's just been a dramatic drop in temperatures compared to yesterday morning at this time. In fact, let's take a look here. This is from the Penn State eWall site. It's a 24-hour temperature change from yesterday morning to this morning. And out here in the middle part of the country, some incredible temperature drops in the 24-hour period on the order of 30 or 40 degrees. Here's a minus 40 compared to yesterday morning at this time, as that Arctic air plunged in to the region on top of snow cover in the overnight hours. So there's temperatures below zero throughout Minnesota, throughout a good part of Minnesota, where more than a foot of snow fell yesterday. Again, the snowstorm yesterday raged right in this region right here from Minnesota across to Wisconsin and Michigan. Some of that is continuing to move to the east today, but the real news this morning are the unbelievably cold wind chills and actual air temperature values all the way down into places like New Mexico, where temperatures at some of the higher elevations way down south are even below zero this morning. Next couple of plots here are from coolweather.com. This shows the actual temperatures at the last hour here, and here's that 0 degree line right here all the way down into Nebraska, and it's below zero in this region right here. And this is on top of a lot of snow cover, which helped, of course, to drop the temperatures a little bit more as that cold air plunged all the way down into the south central states. It's even below zero readings here, the higher elevations of New Mexico. It's very cold across the northern panhandle. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the front, much milder conditions this morning throughout the eastern part of the country. In fact, we're above where we were 24 hours ago, with an increase in temperatures as ahead of the cold front that will slam through the eastern states overnight tonight. Well, one final map here from coolweather.com showing how different the air masses are ahead of the front and behind the front. This is the region here where the Arctic cold, and some of these dots here represent record low temperatures or near record low temperatures. Meanwhile, on the other side of the front, here's some near record highs already this morning here in much of the mid-Atlantic region, as southwest winds pump in very mild air ahead of the front, and Arctic cold has plunged deep into the south central part of the U.S. behind this frontal system. Let's now take a look at the surface map, see exactly where that front is. It's not hard to tell by looking at this temperature difference here across the region. And here's that front right now, cutting across Ohio. There is a pretty extensive band of showers right along this front that will head into the eastern states later on this afternoon. Meanwhile, Arctic cold behind the front, and a lot of warming here, especially along the coastal regions. Ahead of the front is some southwest winds pumping some milder air ahead of that front, and places like D.C., Philadelphia, and New York should hit 60 degrees or higher this afternoon as this warm front scoots to the north, pushed along by some southwesterly winds ahead of that front. The front then sweeps through this evening, and we return to more normal seasonal temperatures on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, here's the latest radar loop in the Mid-Atlantic region. All this out here from western Pennsylvania through West Virginia down into Kentucky, Tennessee region is associated with that strong cold front. There may even be an embedded thunderstorm in this region, but the showers should move into the D.C. and Philadelphia regions later on this afternoon and continue through the evening hours in through New York City as well. And then that front sweeps off the coast. Temperatures get a little bit colder later on tonight and considerably colder tomorrow compared to the 60 or 60 plus degrees expected this afternoon ahead of the front. Well, let's take a quick look at a couple of computer forecast maps. This is from last night's 0Z NAM model run for this evening. A couple of lows developing along that front here. The front just to the west of the big cities early this evening, but an area of showers associated with that front. It tends to diminish a little bit as it presses towards the coast. Nonetheless, there should be some showers this afternoon through the evening hours along the I-95 corridor, maybe even a rumble of thunder as that front moves through the region. Here's the NAM model forecast for tomorrow morning. By this time, the weather will finally begin to settle down after several days of unsettled weather. The cold front itself off the East Coast by this time. Colder air on somewhat stiff northwest winds, probably 10 to 15 miles per hour, with increasing amounts of sunshine tomorrow, and certainly colder than today. Again, 60 plus along the I-95 corridor today, and then generally confined to the 40s, perhaps touching 50 degrees in some spots in the Mid-Atlantic region during the day tomorrow post-frontal system. The rest of the week stays rather seasonal temperature-wise, and some sunshine each day right through Friday. Expect mainly dry conditions on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday as the weather settles down after this cold frontal passage this evening. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.